What is up, everybody? It is Sam here with BFPGear.com, and today we're going to show you how to install a color accent kit on the Shocker Era. It's going to be a really simple process, and there's one thing on here that is going to be a little bit more complicated to take off, and it's going to be replacing the little back cap here. But I'm going to go grab one of the color kits, and just to give everybody a heads up on these color kits, there are 8 of them total, so you can make your Shocker Era look super flashy. You can make it monotone, keep it like one solid color if you want. And the nice thing about the color kits is that you're going to have extra parts left over, which is really sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of the color kits. I think I'm going to do this blue Shocker here with a gray accent kit, and got my tools here. I'm just going to grab a tech mat, and we're going to see you after the intro. Okay, got our tech mat here, we got our Allen keys, got our Shocker Era, and then we have our great color kit here. Color kits are currently sitting at $99.95, and that is at the time of this video being made. And again, there are a ton of different colors to choose from. Again, I picked the gray here, and we're basically just gonna work from the front of the marker to the back of the marker. Hardest part's going to be getting that back cap replaced, and then the feed neck lever can give you some issues here and there. You do have to kind of keep everything, I would say, aligned a little bit with that little brass piece, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So let's go ahead and open the color kit here and start with the easiest part here. That's the barrel back, and looks like there's a little bit of that foam in there. Let's just go ahead and replace that real quick. Don't forget your insert. I think this blue and gray is actually going to look pretty cool. But yeah, this is like the color scheme that we're going for here, and I'd say it looks pretty good. So let's set the barrel to the side. I'm going to put the barrel back in the packaging there. Let's go ahead and remove the eye covers and grab our gray ones here. All right, so we just thread this out, and they should just pop right out. And if they don't, you can always, oh, screw came out. Just flip it over. There we go. Nice and easy. Grab the new eye cover. Try to line that up. But this is a relatively easy process that has some minor difficulty to it. But overall, not too bad. Not too bad at all. The nice thing about doing this too is that if you're trying to like coordinate with like team colors, or if you have like a whole setup, or maybe you just want to do like a monotoned Shocker, you have the ability to do so with all these color kits. Like there's so many colors of the Shocker out, and so many different color kits that you can just make it happen, which I think is pretty slick. I really do like that about this marker. All right, so now that's in there. All right, it feels pretty good. They don't feel loose. Just pushing on the inside a little bit there where the detents sit. Yeah, it feels really good. All right, so next piece that I think I want to replace, we'll just do the easy one down here, and that's the ASA knob. You just thread it out, grab your new one, and just line it up and thread it in. Pretty simple. Next up, let's do the trigger. Again, this should just be like a pretty simple drop-in piece. Use that same Allen key that you used to replace the eye covers there. And then you pop out this little retainer screw that's got 2 O-rings on it. And then you just kind of pull down and forward a little bit. Oh, it's giving me some difficulty. There we go. So you just kind of pull it forward and then down. Should pop right out. And then we're just going to go backwards here, and it kind of snaps in place because there is a magnet up top. So once you feel it snap in place, all you gotta do is just line up this screw. It should just pop in, and then you're just gonna screw that in, and this will get your trigger installed. Pretty simple process. You don't need to over tighten this or anything like that. But now we have a pewter trigger, or gray rather, I should say. Now we got a gray trigger installed. And now we're gonna move on to feed neck here, or rather feed neck lever. So let's grab the lever there, and then let's go ahead and unclamp it. And then I'm gonna loosen the thumb wheel here. Pops right out, and then we got that little retainer O-ring there. And then you are gonna lose this little black like washer piece. And then we have this brass piece here. Brass piece will go facing downwards. So, and then if you look at the feed neck lever here, you'll see that you see the brass piece here, but if you flip it over, you don't see anything, and it's because it just falls right out. So we'll flip this over, and it might be a little bit of trial and error because you do have to kind of align everything a little bit. But nice thing is we're just gonna put this thumb wheel screw back in and push that into place. And then you have your washer piece here, and it's got kind of like a weird curvature to it, and that actually curves up along the feed neck like so. And now we just need to install the lever itself. And this, I'm just holding it from the bottom here, and then we'll just kind of get the threading, just kind of line it up, and then you just screw in. And if it's the wrong side, you just flip that brass piece around and you should be good to go. But it looks like I got it on the first try there, so hell yeah, dude, go me. And then you just kind of adjust it. And then if that little plastic piece just kind of moves around, that's not an issue at all. It does kind of like go with the curvature of, you know, the feed neck lever and the feed neck style as well. So, but now we got that installed. Pretty simple. And then the hardest part is going to be the back cap here, which is basically held in place by a little clamp. So if you have your Allen keys, you can use your smallest Allen key to do this. But as you can see, it's just this little piece, and there's like this post sticking out. So you will have to remove your core. And then you'll see down here, there's these two little guys kind of poking out, and that's that little kind of like clamp, that little like clip holder. It's basically a C-clip, except much larger. And you can use an Allen key to kind of get in there if you want, but you definitely got to get something small in there to basically at least push these forward so that you can just kind of hook and pull the whole thing out. So that's what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go underneath, and I'm just going to give it a little push. And then let's go with the other side here. So I'm just giving it a little push, and I'm holding it in place with my thumb there, and then I just kind of heard it click out a little bit. So let's just kind of give it a little bit more of a push here. And you just kind of do this in like small increments until you can kind of try to get in here, because you need to come up just a little bit so you can kind of push it up and out. This is a nice little thing to have, but when this is down all the way, you cannot get this deep enough to kind of get leverage on it. And then once you get some leverage, you can just kind of pull up. Bam, whole thing comes out. And then this does align in a certain way. So just kind of put your bolt system like this, and you'll see you have your back cap, and then you can just lift up on the back cap, and it just pops right out. And the reason why I do it this way is because there's this little ball bearing right here, and we do not want to lose that part. So the way that it was aligned as you took it apart, all you gotta do is, if it's not straightened or anything, just rotate this until you have it on there, and then you should be able to feel it move. But now you just kind of hold everything in place. Take your C-clip and then go to the top here where that little, you know, slot is where you can kind of get leverage. And you just push this clamp in place, and it just sits in place. and then just kind of check your work and, you know, rotate this so when it's straight, this little blue piece should come out, and that's going to lock your bolt system in place. And then just kind of pop everything back in, line it up, bam, there you go. Let's go ahead and get the barrel on there so we can get the full look of a blue and gray shocker era. There you go. You've yeah, you just installed one of the era accent kits. Gave your shocker era a little bit of you know, a little bit of extra flair, a little bit of extra style, and yeah, it doesn't take long at all. Just most difficult part would definitely be that back cap, but still pretty simple overall. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up here a little bit. We'll get some closing comments. Well, there you go. You have successfully installed a Shocker Era accent kit onto your Shocker Era. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this does give you some extra parts, which honestly, keeping the packaging around and just putting all your spare parts into is really nice, because who knows when you're going to need them, or you can always just mix and match some of these colors. So if you wanted black eye covers, you have those there. If you wanted to keep the back cap, you know, that black color, you can always do that as well. Shocker Era accent kits are at a price of $99.95 as mentioned earlier, and again, they come in a huge variety of different colors, so you could just take one of your Shocker Eras and just turn it into something completely unique that stands out on the field, or you could totally just do one color if you wanted to. And if you want to pick up a Shocker Era or a Shocker Era accent kit, you can do that right now on BFPGear.com.